Hi y'all, welcome to my channel. This is Roger Ivester and it's a whittle bit at a time. This is a project that I started on. It was a little cheap box that I picked up at a hobby store. And it was $12.95 and 40% off. I have started the designs here freehand using basically a small palm gouge and a small chisel. This is not the best wood for doing this with. As you can see, it's rough across the grains. You can see the chips, the tear outs, things of that nature. But I needed a little box to put on my dresser to hold things like car keys and my wallet at night. So just keep the dresser clean and keep the puppy from getting them and chewing them. And what I'm going to be doing, I'm going to try to clean up around the areas here. And with these same tools. And then after that, I will probably coat it with something and then start using it. But for $8, just to have a little practice piece, it worked. And like I said, it's not the best wood. Everything's very not flowing, just because of the way that the wood is and how the grain is. And obviously they mass produce them and they're cheap junk wood. So if you get something like this and do a project on it, if you hand carve it, it's going to look hand carved. I have not tried power carving on it with a Dremel tool or a rotary tool, but that would probably be a lot cleaner. But when you do power carve, it is a lot messier because it makes a lot of dust. So anyhow, we'll see if I can get onto this and reposition the camera and hopefully keep my hands out of the way to where you can see what's going on. So what I'm going to do here is I want the leaf to have a point to it. You see if that's, you can see what I'm doing there. And what I'm going to do, I'm going to bring the point down here. I'm going to round that up that way, round that over that way. I'll come back in here and clean that up with a chisel a little later on. You can see how hard this is, especially the darker grain. And then I just want this to be a little ridgy leaf. And that's not working out too good. But like I said, it's just for the counter. For the dresser, I may paint it, I may not, but we'll see what happens. And you can see up here when I get in the softwood, it's a lot easier. And this video may not make it onto the channel. It probably won't, but it's a good practice for me. There's just, you can see how that's chipping out. You can hear it. Like I say, cheap junk wood, not the best thing to carve on. I'm just going to go in here and see if I can get some cleaner cuts coming across the grain or going with the grain, just to see if it'll clean up some of the roughness, which doesn't look like it's going to. So I'm going to call that side done. Cut a point in this. And when you do this and you're using chisels, always keep your hands out of the way, because if you slip, it's going to puncture. I typically use cut resistance gloves when I'm working with a knife, which, as you can see, has saved my hands greatly, especially my thumb. But when you work with a chisel, they are cut resistant, they are not puncture resistant. So you will go through the glove, it will separate the fibers in the glove, and you'll still poke it in your hand and cut yourself pretty badly. So this is a cheap wood box. I'm not happy with how grainy and choppy this is, but it'd do. I just didn't want a plain box sitting on the dresser. I don't know what I was thinking here, just a little design in the center to fill between the leaves. So I'm going to clean that up because I didn't like the lines coming down, because it was going across grain and not with grain on the chisel or on the gouge work, and it was very nasty looking. So I'll clean this up. And make it much better looking. Now you can take some sandpaper to this and try to smooth all this stuff up if you want to, and make it better looking. So anyhow, an $8 box, and it's taken me, I probably worked on this a total about an hour or so, hour and a half, and it just puts a design in it. And you can paint this, like I said, you can paint it, you can stain it, you can clear coat it, you can do whatever you want to with it. I may paint it and then show the final project shortly.